Paleontology bingo. Just get through it. The way the title is called, why were dinosaurs called dinosaurs? So, it's going to be a wild ride as well as having an AI thumbnail.
Why did dinosaurs become dinosaurs? This release will not be quite ordinary. In it we will talk about why people began to call prehistoric creatures dinosaurs.
And not all of them are dinosaurs, obviously. It's just mainstream everything.
Why dinosaurs, and not some kind of Jabberwocky? It all happened not so long ago, about 300 years ago.
Okay, so the first instances of dinosaur stuff was in the late 17th century in 1676. 300 years ago means 1724, which is a little bit too late.
Considering that the last dinosaurs went extinct 65 million years ago.
65 million years ago is more on the Paleogene. The KPJ extinction event happened around 66 million years ago. So 65 million years ago is 1 million year too late, but hey, I'm probably nitpicking. So the 65 million years ago is fine, I guess. Just not a very good estimate, that's all.
One British biologist named Owen was terribly interested in prehistoric creatures. After all, even then, people all over the world found the remains of unknown animals. But the most interesting thing is that these remains were once incredibly huge creatures.
And of course, despite being used from Julian Johnson Mortimer, which does accurate models for the most part, these guys are not dinosaurs, and this is supposed to be a dinosaur video, so that's another red flag.
And so Owen decided to call these unknown creatures dinosaurs.
This is 1842, by the way, so not even 200 years ago. It's like more like 182 years ago, or 181, depending on depending on when the video is released. You also answered your own question, so I guess this video ends here.
The word dinosaur comes from the Greek dainos, which means terrible, and sauros, which means lizard. A British scientist gave this term, referring to the size and grandeur of prehistoric animals.
Now, one thing I could give this guy credit for is that this guy is showing footage that shows at least some semblance of accuracy. And not just complete awesome bro-ness like shown in Clash of the Dinosaurs, Jurassic Fight Club, or anything else like that.
Mr. Owen called dinosaurs pachyderms. In the 19th century, people classified large and massively bodied hippos, elephants, and rhinoceroses as pachyderms. Therefore, the word dinosaur sounds very majestic. When someone found dinosaur bones, myths and legends were immediately born that the remains of terrible giants had been found somewhere.
That's because paleontology back then wasn't as advanced, so therefore people come up with a bunch of myths and a bunch of conspiracy theories without any regard of scientific research or any science whatsoever.
The giant bones found were considered the remains of giant people, which are described even in the Bible. Someone claimed that the bones remained from the time of the Trojan War.
Because back then, radiometric dating, or even radiation for that matter, was not in the concept of physics.
These remains may have belonged to Greek and Trojan heroes, and perhaps even the gods of Olympus.
Man, back then when paleontology wasn't as advanced and people believed more on Bible and God than actual science, everything just goes haywire in terms of myths and all that.
In the East, the bones found were considered to be the bones of dragons and attributed healing properties to them. And so one French scientist in 1818 determined that these bones belonged to giant lizards. In 1821, two completely new genera of unknown sea creatures were officially discovered.
Okay, are we going off topic now? That's just very concerning, and has to be very expected as well, because, the guy probably answered the whole question a whole long time ago, and everything else about this video is just filler.
The first genus was called Ichthyosaurus, or fish lizard.
Which, I hate to burst your bubble, but the Ichthyosaurus is not a dinosaur. It is a marine reptile.
The second genus was given the name Plesiosaurus, which means close to lizards. A year later, 2 more new genera were discovered. These are Mosasaurus, or Mosa river lizard, and Megalosaurus, which means huge lizard.
Out of all these 4 creatures mentioned, only the Megalosaurus was a dinosaur. Although, to be fair, dinosaur, that term was a little bit on the rough side.
2 years later, new remains of an unknown creature were found in southern England. And after research, the fossil received a name Iguanodon. The name translates as iguana tooth, due to the similarity of the teeth of the found prehistoric reptile and the modern one.
And so, fun fact, this would make the Megalosaurus and Iguanodon the first 2 dinosaurs to be described. The Megalodon is the first one, while the Iguanodon is the second one out of, I forgot how many now, but definitely more than 300.
In the summer of 1832, during blasting operations at one of the industrial sites in Great Britain, bones dating back to the early Cretaceous period were discovered. This discovery was reported at a meeting of the Geological Society, and these remains were given the name Hylaeosaurus, which means forest lizard.
My guess is that from this point onwards, stuff is just going to be some random history, dinosaur history facts that have nothing to do with the title itself. But it's called Secrets of Confrontation of Prehistoric Animals, the title. And it doesn't really make that much sense, so I can't really judge it.
Hylaeosaurus is a representative of the armored Ankylosaurus. In 1842, scientists created a special suborder, calling it Dinosauria, which means terrible lizards. At the time, it was believed that dinosaurs were huge, slow-moving reptiles that walked on 4 legs.
4 legs, yeah, what? This felt like a little bit like some sort of anime girl muttering some random stuff.
And therefore, in the vicinity of London.
Now, actually, this ankylosaur called Hylaeosaurus was quite accurate, actually, especially compared to Iguanodon and Megalosaurus, which are just both super outdated designs.
Sculptures of antediluvian reptiles were installed.
This entire segment over here is just fact-yapping, and Troodon does not exist, by the way. But back then, Troodon did. So, this is just outdated.
The time of great paleontological discoveries has begun. It was truly the great dinosaur race. In a very short time, several species of herbivorous dinosaurs from the genus Diplodocus were discovered. These are Camarasaurus, Apatosaurus.
Oh no, not Right-Side's way of pronouncing the Apatosaurus.
They could take down even such colossal creatures as Apatosaurus. But scientists
I hate that mispronunciation, bro. Why do they call that Apatosaurus, man? Let's just hear that again.
As Apatosaurus.
Apatosaurus, oh my god. This is just complete madness, bro. And the dude committed the same mistake, just because it's probably a text-to-speech.
And Brontosaurus. Several species of prehistoric predators and herbivores were also discovered. Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus, Stegosaurus.
It's pronounced Stegosaurus, not Stigosaurus. Okay, the Allosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Ceratosaurus. That's a more correct way of pronouncing the Ceratosaurus. Man, Ceratosaurus does not deserve such mistreatment.
Monoclonus and Triceratops. One after another, species of duck-billed dinosaurs appeared. These are Corythosaurus, Lambeosaurus, Saurolophus, Parasaurolophus, and many others. From the Ceratopsian genus.
Ceratopsia is a suborder, not a genus. There's also Ceratopsidae, which is a family of dinosaurs including Triceratops and whatnot.
Such species as Centrosaurus, Styracosaurus, and Pachyrhinosaurus were discovered.
We can still call this a Pachyrhinosaurus instead of Stupidoceratops because this thing at least has a boss instead of a nose horn like it.
The species of predators of that time stood out especially clearly. Tyrannosaurids. These are Albertosaurus, Gorgosaurus, Daspletosaurus, and of course the Tyrannosaurus itself. In 1859, a British biologist made an astonishing discovery that changed our understanding of evolution. The scientist suggested that birds are descendants of dinosaurs.
Which is technically incorrect, as we all know that, as of now, birds are dinosaurs. They're just avian dinosaurs.
He studied the skeletons of Compsognathus, a small theropod dinosaur, and Archaeopteryx.
Which is correct, as Archaeopteryx and Compsognathus both lived in approximately the same time period, and both also lived in Germany. So that's pretty much it. Even though Compy also lived in France.
An ancient bird. Both of these fossils were found in the same place. Comparing these skeletons, the biologist discovered striking similarities.
Striking similarities? What kind of accent is that? It's probably not even a Texan accent. It's probably not that characteristic yeehaw accent you see in Texas.
Archaeopteryx had feathers and wings, but in many other ways its skeleton was very similar to that of Compsognathus. However, not all scientists agreed with their colleague. Some have argued that Archaeopteryx was the first bird not related to dinosaur evolution.
Which is completely ridiculous, as some people even say Archaeopteryx is the hybrid between non-avian dinosaurs and avian dinosaurs. Also, Archaeopteryx is not even an avian dinosaur, so there's really nothing to talk about here.
Over the next century, the most popular theory remained that birds evolved not from dinosaurs, but from earlier reptiles such as crocodilomorphs.
Technically, birds evolved from non-avian dinosaurs, which, there are avian dinosaurs. Okay, this is a little bit confusing, but, like, birds are dinosaurs, so it's fair to say that avian dinosaurs evolved from non-avian dinosaurs. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. More specifically, avian dinosaurs evolved from theropod ancestors.
And thecodonts. Direct evidence of the presence of feathers in dinosaurs appeared only in the mid-90s of the 20th century.
I don't know if this music is copyrighted, although it probably looks to be royalty-free. I have no idea, though.
In one Chinese province, numerous remains of small carnivorous dinosaurs with amazing feather imprints were discovered. These findings became a sensation in the world of paleontology, confirming the theory that many dinosaurs, including the ancestors of modern birds, were covered with feathers.
Now, even a bunch of tyrannosaurs like juvenile rexes and even Albertosaurus are known to have been covered in feathers.
These feathered dinosaurs helped scientists better understand the evolution of birds and confirmed the connection between ancient reptiles and modern feathered inhabitants of our planetity.
Planetity? Is that a new fancy way of saying planet? Or is it just another amalgamation of words that just makes a completely new word that doesn't exist on the Oxford Dictionary?
Sinosauropteryx, Caudipteryx, and even Microraptor with full-fledged bird feathers convinced the scientific community of the plumage of theropods, members of a large group of coelurosaurs, including the famous tyrannosaurs.
That's called Coelurosaurian. not Colorosaur. Okay. The pronunciations are a bit off, obviously, but so far this is just a fact-yapping video.
The presence of hair in Tyrannosaurus
Hair! Aren't they called feathers? Okay.
was confirmed in 2012 after the discovery of Uranus. Today, scientists have firmly established that 8 families of carnivorous dinosaurs from the theropod suborder had feathers.
It's just a clade, not an order. And it's much bigger than an order. Even an order, so it's much bigger than a suborder. We're going to be skipping a segment of like around 20 to 30 seconds because there really was nothing of note in that particular part. So, particular part, that's a really weird way of saying it, but that part of the video. Anyways, let's continue.
The discovery of dinosaurs such as Velociraptor, Oviraptor, and Protoceratops
Protoceratops. Tell me how this pronunciation got out of this guy's mouth.
changed our understanding of giant dinosaurs, demonstrating that carnivorous dinosaurs could have been quite small.
Velociraptor being a carnivore is true, no questions asked, but Psittacosaurus and Protoceratops being carnivores. That's just incredibly ridiculous, man.
During Soviet-Mongolian expeditions,
No, you had a great run in just not using terrible dino docs, but now you just ruined it, bro. Tarbosaurus, the mightiest ever. Patch the crocodilian T-Rex instead of supposed to be a Tarbosaurus. It looks like a crocodilian T-Rex, bro. No, that skull is Vastatosaurus Rex. I'm still baffled to this day why Tarbosaurus, the mightiest ever, used V-Rex skull for whatever this Tarbosaurus is supposed to be.
in the 40s of the 20th century, Tarbosaurus, a relative of the famous T-Rex, and an unusual Therizinosaurus were found. In 1965, the giant Deinocheira was discovered.
It's called Dinocheirus. I should have recorded the amount of mispronunciations this guy said, but it's probably too late now.
Long-necked sauropods such as Mamenchisaurus and Omisaurus
Mamenchisaurus and Alamosaurus. Not whatever you said, not whatever you pronounced of these creatures. You just butchered their names like there's no tomorrow. It's not even bright side level bad at this point. It's still probably not as bad as a scary tourist, but like, still.
as well as large predators such as Yanguinosaurus, Sinraptor, and Gigantoraptor.
Yangchuanosaurus. Well, nobody heard of the Yangchuanosaurus, so I guess it's fair enough that Yangchuanosaurus was mispronounced. Sinraptor, it's okay, and there's a Gigantoraptor.
Have been found in China. In addition, many small feathered dinosaurs were discovered. The latest discoveries take us to South America, to Argentina. In 1985, Argentine paleontologists reported the discovery of 2 new predatory dinosaurs, Carnotaurus and Abelisaurus.
It's called Abelisaurus, not Abelisaurus. No one calls Abelisaurid Abelisaurid. This whole family, man. The name of Abelisaurus is also butchered.
Belonging to a new family of theropods. In 1993, the remains of the largest titanosaur, Argentinosaurus, were found.
First off, it's called Argentinosaurus. Second off, the first Argentinosaurus bone was discovered in 1987. Argentinosaurus was only described in 1993.
And in 1995, the remains of one of the largest predators in the world, Giganotosaurus. These discoveries continue to expand our understanding of Earth's ancient inhabitants and their diversity.
And then we're just going to go through the 100 seconds of pure fact-yapping with nothing else to it. Man, I don't want to bore you guys to death, so that is why I'm just going through it in fast pace.
Early theropods, such as members of the group Coelophysoidea, including Coelophysis and Tawahali.
What is this pronunciation, bro? Okay, so first off, the Coelophysis. That's called Coelophysis. Coelophysidae as well. What is the Tawahali? Coelophysidae. Oh my gosh. Where is this? Oh my goodness gracious. Takaraptor? Okay. Tawa. Oh, Tawahali actually existed. Okay. Sorry. I was a little bit wrong there. But come on, bro. The pronunciation of Coelophysis needs work.
Lived in the late Triassic and early Jurassic.
Coelophysoidea did live through the early Jurassic, oh my gosh. And, it's correct, but the Coelophysis did not. Coelophysis did not go to Jurassic, only lived in the late Triassic.
These predators showed that dinosaurs could be quite active and fast. The largest early predators included ceratosaurs, followed by basal titanourids, including megalosaurids and spinosaurs.
It's called tetanurin. Oh my lord. When are the mispronunciations and pronunciation butchering when can it stop?
Fossils of these dinosaurs date from the mid-Jurassic to the end of the early Cretaceous, about 180 to 94 million years ago.
This sound over here just reminds me of death already. I don't know what this implies, but I don't like it at all.
Research suggests that these groups of dinosaurs diverged from the evolutionary line leading to the feathered coelurosaurs.
Oh gosh. Coelurosaurs. Are you serious right now? Stop with that.
Which further led to the emergence of diverse and specialized predators. Among the early Ornithischian dinosaurs, Picenosaurus and Lesothosaurus were discovered. The Heterodontosaurus studied around the same time was about 3 feet long, had relatively long forelimbs, and had long fangs in its upper and lower jaws.
Heterodontosaurus was more like 4 feet long, so 3 feet long is a bit too short for the Heterodontosaurus.
Agilosaurus was also discovered from the Jurassic period in China. Ornithischian dinosaurs are divided into 3 main groups: Thyreophora, ornithopods, and marginocephalans. Thyreophora, such as ankylosaurs and stegosaurs, had powerful armor that protected them from predators.
Of course, stegosaurs had less than ankylosaurs. So, there's one thing for you.
Ornithopods, including hypsilophodonts and hadrosaurs, were unarmored, but compensated for this by being fast and able to form groups.
Unarmored. Unarmored. Okay. Alright. That's another one. That's another sad thing. Gosh. These mispronunciations are just getting out of hand, bro.
Marginocephals include pachycephalosaurids.
Okay. Marginocephalians. Aw, come on, bro. Are you serious right now? This is just getting stupid. Really dumb.
And ceratopsians, which stood out for their bizarre bony growths and horns.
Bony grill.
Which were used for protection and in mating rituals. Thyreophora were distinguished by the presence of shells consisting of individual scuts or plates.
These are called osteoderms, which help protect the animal from attacks from above.
which was their most striking feature.
There is also another backgapping session over here with some AI imagery to compensate. This video is going nowhere.
Herbivorous dinosaurs such as giant sauropods and armored ankylosaurs and stegosaurs typically had small brains. Even later herbivorous dinosaurs such as Edmontosaurus, although having slightly larger brains, were still inferior in this regard to carnivorous dinosaurs.
Well, many herbivores don't need that. You know, they just have armor and weapons to defend themselves. Predators need to be smarter to actually have a much higher chance of successfully killing their prey.
Predatory theropods tended to have relatively large brains and well-developed vision, which were necessary for successfully hunting fast prey.
It's Clash of the Dinosaurs once again with a bunch of random. Come on, bro.
For example, T-Rex had a particularly large brain compared to other carnivorous dinosaurs. At the top of the evolutionary chain of intelligence were theropods, most closely related to modern birds. Small dromaeosaurids such as Velociraptor and trudentids such as Trudon had brains comparable in size to those of modern birds.
Except Troodon currently does not exist. Oh, goodness. Why do people still believe that Troodon exists? Is it because Troodon isn't green in mainstream media?
They also had large eyes, indicating advanced binocular vision, which allowed them to see in three-dimensional space, as well as keen hearing, making them one of the most intelligent and efficient hunters of their time.
Okay, I'm not trying to attack this guy's accent, but I don't know what this guy's accent is. It's probably just AI accent. Sorry about that. Again, I'm not trying to attack this guy's accent.
The study of dinosaur intelligence is often based on modern ideas about the intelligence of birds. Birds are traditionally considered less intelligent than mammals, and measuring their intelligence poses significant challenges.
Fact-checking section number 698.
Birds are capable of complex forms of communication using visual signals, sounds, and songs. These traits may also be shared by their dinosaur ancestors, indicating their potential for complex behavior and communication.
What you're showing here are pterosaurs that are not dinosaurs, although to be fair, they actually have those pycnofibers which are correct. But again, dinosaurs do not have those larynxes that allow them to communicate like birds did. They should have more crocodilian-like sounds, like bellows and hisses and whatnot.
Thank you for watching our episode. Give it a thumbs up and leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And also press the bell so you don't miss new and interesting videos from the Real Unreal channel.
This video had a gajillion amount of mispronunciations. It's just not even funny at this point. Anyways, let's check a look at the Paleo Bingo result. Nothing for a bingo. Nothing. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you all next time.